In a year when my boyfriend was struggling the most, I decided to end the relationship. Later, he achieved great success and went to great lengths to marry me. Everyone said I was his ideal love, his most treasured wife. But eventually, he started bringing different women home every night, breaking my heart and turning me into a laughingstock among our friends. Yet, I never cried or made a scene. I quietly stayed in the study, never interfering in his affairs. Enraged, he kissed me fiercely and whispered, "Aren't you jealous?" He didn't know I was sick. Each day, he sought revenge on me. I silently counted how many days I had left to live. In the third year of my marriage to Wesley Miller, he started seeing a young, attractive college student named Cora Miller. She was pure and adorable, just Wesley's type. He supported her for over half a year. Besides me, she was the woman who stayed by Wesley's side the longest. Friends warned me to be cautious, saying Wesley seemed genuinely fond of Cora. The first time I met her was on my birthday. I had been having nosebleeds since morning and went for a checkup. The doctor told me I might only live until next spring. I nodded slightly and whispered, "It's okay, I'm not afraid of dying, just a bit afraid of pain." I heard there's an expensive medicine that could make my remaining days more comfortable. With not enough money in my bank account, I went to Wesley's company to find him. I happened to run into Cora there. She had just graduated and was working as Wesley's assistant. He was in a meeting, so I sat outside waiting. Cora kept staring at me, whispering to her colleagues, "Is she the boss's wife? She looks so plain and lifeless, almost like she's dying." Everyone says I look like her. Where's the resemblance? I'm much prettier. The bright glass reflected my plain face in a bulky down jacket. Indeed, not attractive and almost lifeless. A colleague quietly pulled Cora aside and said, "She's just not dressed up. If she put on makeup, 10 of you wouldn't be as pretty as her, and don't rely on the boss's favor to provoke her. You don't know how much he loves her. If you upset her, he might ruin you." Hearing that Wesley loved me deeply, Cora pouted and rolled her eyes at me. She brought me tea and sweetly asked, "Sister Mabel, how can the boss bear to keep you waiting so long? It's strange. Whenever I come to see him, no matter how busy he is, he always makes time for me. He says I'm the most important. I thought he treated other women the same way." She smiled sweetly, looking just like I did when I was young. Thinking about it, Wesley did treat Cora differently. He had countless lovers, using them as tools to provoke me, bringing different women home every night to test my reaction. Wesley never lingered with them for long, maybe a day or two, perhaps 10 days or half a month. He quickly grew bored. Only Cora. He kept outside, dining, shopping, watching movies with her. They seemed like an ordinary, loving couple. Wesley gave her money and affection. I smiled at Cora and gently asked, "You're so important. How can Wesley let you be a hidden mistress? You should persuade him to divorce me and marry you soon." Cora's face changed instantly, angrily whispering, "The unloved one is the mistress. You're the unnecessary one. You're just relying on having met Mr. Wesley a few years before me. But now you're old and ugly. What do you have to compete with me?" Her colleague, probably fearing I'd get angry, quickly pulled her away. But it didn't matter to me. I had already told myself not to get angry or sad because of Wesley, and definitely not to compete with other women over him. He's not worth it. Cora was pulled, lost her balance, and then fell, breaking the cup in her hand, leaving a deep cut on her palm, blood everywhere. Wesley saw Cora hurt through the meeting room glass. Everyone watched as he dropped his files, pushed open the door, and scooped her into his arms. Coldly, he cursed, "Who the hell hurt her?" The kind colleague stepped back, face pale with fear. I sneered, "I did it, and she deserved it." Cora glared at me, crying, "Yes, I deserve it. I fell in love with someone I shouldn't have. Getting called a mistress, a lover. But Mr. Wesley, as long as you love me, I want to stay by your side forever. No one can separate us." She cried so adorably, even saying such ludicrous things, seemed brave and determined. Wesley was amused, wiping her tears, coaxing her, "Be good. You're crying like a kitten." He really was different with her. I lowered my eyes, too lazy to watch, only telling Wesley, "I want 500 Sauerzehren for my birthday this year. It's funny, we're married, but don't even have each other's contact information, except when asking for money. I never reach out to him." Before marriage, we agreed he wanted me and I wanted his money. Wesley always hated me for being a gold digger. But before, whenever I asked, no matter how much, he'd give it to me, always more, never less. Only this time, he coldly laughed, leisurely saying, "You can have the money, but, Phoebe Johnson, first bow that proud head of yours, and apologize to Cora." Wesley wanted to use $2 million to buy my dignity, to purchase an apology for Cora. For the first time, he used money to humiliate me for another woman. I clenched my fists, smiling lightly. Enduring the sudden wave of pain, I turned and left. I didn't want the money anymore. I suddenly grew very curious about Wesley. If one day you knew this money could have let me live longer, knew how much I suffered before dying, what expression would you have? I went home alone. Curled up in pain, drenched in cold sweat. I took some sleeping pills, telling myself, if I sleep, it won't hurt. In a daze I dreamed of when I was 20, Wesley was poor, but loved me very much. That year on my birthday, as I passed a coffee shop, I saw a couple by the window. The girl held a snow-white cake, looking exquisite, delicious, and expensive. I remember it snowed heavily that day. I held a small pile of snow, smiling at Wesley, asking, "Wes, doesn't this pile of snow look like a cake?" Wesley bit his lip, hugged me tightly, not letting me see his secretly reddened eyes. 3 days later, he showed up at my dorm with a big cake. A whole cake cost $2.58, but standing in the snowy street handing out 301 flyers only earned him 100. Seeing his frostbitten fingers, I cried helplessly. Looking up, I shouted at him, "Wesley, your hands can be used for studying and writing, but not for ruining them to make me happy." I said, "I don't deserve such an expensive cake at all." Wesley frowned, immediately refuting me. He said, "Phoebe, you're the best girl in the world. You deserve all the good things in it." That day, I cried and ate the whole cake. I can't remember its taste anymore. I just know I never had a better cake since. I slept for a long time, vaguely hearing my phone ring. Answering it, I heard Wesley's voice. "Phoebe." I smiled softly, sweetly calling him, "Wes, it's snowing heavily, I want cake." Before he could reply, I turned and fell back into a deep sleep. I slept until midnight, waking from hunger. I went to the living room and found Wesley had returned. He bought Cora a big house. They lived there together. Cora cooked for him, made him happy, and waited for him to come home. Wesley was living well. He hadn't been back for a long time. He lazily leaned against the window, cigarette in mouth, staring straight at me. I lowered my eyes, passing him when he grabbed me. He frowned, softly asking, "Why have you lost so much weight?" His tone was gentle, as if he still loved me. I paused, yanking my hand away, cursing, "Wesley, what are you doing?" He looked at his empty palm, expression slowly turning cold. When I reached the table and saw a cake with candles, I realized that call wasn't a dream. I said I wanted cake, and Wesley bought it. Was this a peace offering? But I'm almost dead. I don't need cake, and I don't need Wesley anymore. I grabbed the cake and threw it in the trash. Wesley gritted his teeth, pinning me against the wall. He cursed angrily, "Phoebe, are you messing with me?" I laughed, admitting, "Wesley, I am messing with you." "So what?" I said I wanted cake, and you bought it. Why are you still as pathetic as before? I told Wesley Miller I wanted a piece of cake, so he went ahead and got one for me. Was this supposed to be some kind of peace offering? But I'm at the end of my rope. I don't need cake, and I certainly don't need Wesley Miller anymore. I tossed the cake into the trash. Wesley clenched his teeth and slammed me against the wall, snarling, "Phoebe Johnson, are you playing games with me?" I chuckled, acknowledging, "Yes, Wesley, I'm messing with you." "So what? I mentioned wanting cake. And you got it. You're just as pathetic as ever, aren't you?" I twisted the metaphorical knife deeper, watching as Wesley's expression turned icy. He stubbed out his cigarette forcefully and dragged me into the bedroom, throwing me onto the bed. Wesley seemed to have lost his mind, like a wild beast. He roughly tore open my nightgown. I panicked, my fists pounding on him. "Wesley, you jerk! Don't touch me! You disgust me!" He pinned my legs, halting my struggle, then bit my neck, drawing a cry of pain from me. He hissed in my ear, "Phoebe, would it really hurt to give in to me? Do you know how long I've waited for your comfort? How many years have I waited? Do you know how happy I was when you said you wanted cake, and then you turn around and make a fool out of me?" He lifted his head, eyes bloodshot, staring at me. I fought back tears and glared back defiantly to thine in the dim room. Silence stretched between us, neither willing to back down. Wesley leaned in closer, about to kiss me when his phone rang. By T was Cora Miller. Wesley paused but answered. I heard Cora's tearful voice. "Mr. Miller, are you really leaving me for Sister Mabel? You obviously like me. I'm at a bar, drank too much, and some guy is bothering me. I'm scared. I'm scared. Can you come pick me up?" Wesley didn't respond at first. He just looked at me, then smirked coldly, whispering, "Phoebe, beg me to stay. If you do, I won't leave." He seemed to have forgotten that a long time ago. I swallowed my pride and pleaded, "Wesley, can we talk calmly for once? Can we stop fighting? Can we just be together properly? Can you treat me a little better?" Back then, Wesley just stared at me coldly and laughed. "Phoebe, you're not worthy." Those words have been a thorn in my heart ever since today. I finally got to return the favor that I grabbed him by the collar, enunciating clearly, "Wesley, you're not worthy." Wesley fell silent for a moment, then laughed at himself. He put the phone back to his ear and told Cora, "I'll come pick you up." Without another glance at me, he got up, slammed the door, and left. The next day, photos of Wesley fighting another man over Cora were all over the community. It was the first time his affairs with another woman became public knowledge. Reporters were camped outside my door, bombarding me with questions when I left out. Wesley's company had grown rapidly in recent years and wielded considerable influence in Beijing circles. Young, wealthy, and handsome, he was quite the online celebrity, frequently trending. A girl asked, "Mrs. Miller, do you have any comments on Mr. Miller and Cora?" I kept walking, not looking back, and replied, "One's a man cheating during marriage, and the other is a woman knowingly becoming a mistress." "What do you expect me to say?" the girl pursued, asking, "But I heard that when Mr. Miller was at his poorest, you left him for money. Then when he succeeded, you manipulated him emotionally to marry you. And now that Mr. Miller has found true love with Cora, you're clinging to the title of Mrs. Miller, calling others a mistress. Don't you think you're the bully here?" I stopped, smirked coldly, and grabbed her work ID. She was an intern reporter with a student ID from Nanshan University inside her badge holder. If I calmly asked, "Are you Cora's friend?" Everyone knows Wesley did everything to marry me. Do you really think I was eager to marry him? Everyone in the circle knows this. Don't you? Or are you just here to tarnish my reputation to help your friend climb the mistress ladder? Her expression changed, nervously snatching her ID back, defensively claiming I am her friend, but I'm a reporter. What I say is objective and fair. If you truly didn't want to marry Mr. Miller, and he fell in love with someone else, why not divorce him? I laughed, was about to answer, but suddenly got a nosebleed, looking quite a mess. Someone mocked, "Mrs. Miller says she doesn't care, that she was forced to marry Mr. Miller, but why is she so worked up she's getting a nosebleed?" I wiped the blood from my lips with my finger calmly. I said, "I'm not worked up. I'm sick, dying soon. I've been getting nosebleeds lately." The crowd fell silent, no one laughing anymore.